So in 2002, I became a mother. Shortly after, I went to the doctor wondering what this unsightly lump was a couple of inches above my belly button. And he says to me, well, you have an umbilical hernia. There's no point in repairing it until after you're done having children. So in 2005, I have my second child. And in 2008, I was getting divorced. And I thought, okay, now's probably a good time to repair this hernia. And in August of that year, I went in for the surgery. About a month later, it popped open. The doctor pitched to me that I should have mesh implanted to reinforce the repair in a second surgery. So now I'm a single mom, very limited finances and no health insurance. So I find out exactly what I need to save up to have the surgery, and 2 years later, in August of 2010, I have the surgery. Hernia repaired, mesh implanted. At my post-op appointment, I say to him, so when is this lump actually going to go down? And he says, oh, that's diastasis recti, when the abdominal muscles separate during pregnancy and don't come back together. And I thought, oh, would have been nice to know that first. So to make matters worse, a few days later, I get the bill in the mail, and it's twice what they told me it was going to be. So now I'm heading real fast into a pitch black, dark night of the soul. So, I'm not knowing at all what to do. I start fighting with the hospital, but to no avail. They send my account to collections. But I didn't stop there. After 4 perseverant years representing myself and pitching my case to the opposing attorney, I won. And the hospital agreed that I did not owe the money, that they had double charged me. Meanwhile, I still have this diastasis recti, and I'm wondering what I'm going to do about this. And so I started looking during this time for practitioners, exercises, practices that I could do to try to make this better. And nothing seemed to stick or work. In fact, a lot of things were quite painful. And I noticed many things were painful since this mesh went in. My monthly cycles were painful. I was struggling to do a lot of different exercise, and my energy levels were plummeting. So I knew this was a super steeply pitched journey. I decided to look into different options, and I started working with a homeopath in 2011. And through homeopathy and very strict diet and meditation, I was able to manage my pain and get through. In 2017, I went to a physical therapist, and she did all kinds of massage and manipulation and said to me, okay, you really don't have diastasis that bad now. I've moved your organs down from being stuck up under your ribs from pregnancy, but there's this thing happening where you have this mesh that seems to be holding you apart. So she pitched to me that I should get the mesh removed and have this surgery, and I thought, oh, okay. So I start looking into how can I get this out of me. As soon as I saw the cost and the fact that so many doctors refused to even do it, I thought, I'm not going to be able to do it. Later that year, I went to my dental checkup, and he says, we're going to have to keep an eye on this tooth of yours because it looks like it's starting an infection. Well, I immediately talked to my homeopath and said, you've got to help me save this tooth. I have already lost 4 teeth in the last 4 years. And so she says, of course, we don't want a tooth issue to become systemic. Well, I had this light bulb moment that said, I don't want a systemic issue to keep affecting my teeth. I went back to looking into removing the hernia mesh and looking into the toxicity of it, and sure enough, tooth loss was one of the symptoms, along with a whole bunch of other things that I was experiencing. So I pitched to my family and friends and extended community and said, I need help to get this surgery done. And I did crowdfunding, and I raised 100% of the money. And I managed to go and get the surgery. It was a huge success. I had to go to Las Vegas to do this because nobody nearby would do it. And as we're driving back to come home to the airport, the car's pitching left and right, and I'm completely nauseous on pain meds. And it was all I could do not to pitch my breakfast all over the TSA agent who said, as he found out I was about to be sick, he plopped down a garbage can in front of me and said, make it in or we're going to have to close. I managed to get through security without puking. I got home safe and sound. And no mesh, no more hernia. My pitch to you is stand up for yourself. persevere through the challenges, advocate, ask questions, find out the answers that you need, and get help if you need it. And if you need it, I'm here for you. Thank you.